And welcome back to the channel, everybody. Here, Lucas Johnson with this MLB Show 22 Custom League, and today we are wrapping up regular season year 2 here. We are on the last day of the season. This is, there will be one more game after this episode, but this is basically it here. This is the last day of the season, and we're going to have a lot of things determined by the end of this video in terms of playoff positioning and playoff seeding and things still have to be determined. But before we get to some of that action, we're going to take a look at a couple of players that will be playing their final career games. One of those guys is Miguel Cabrera. I mean, this is a team that's going to make the playoffs this year, so he might appear in the postseason in some fashion, but probably not. He's not starting this year. Miguel Cabrera this season was not great at the plate, only batted .230 and had a .319 OPS or on base and 677 OPS. But I mean, he's a for sure first ballot Hall of Famer. Just reached 3,200 career hits and is at 529 career home runs and 1,800, almost basically 1,900 RBIs there. And one of the most consistent hitters in baseball, and a guy that won a Triple Crown in 2013. A guy that really, since the middle 2000s, have just been a dominant force in the league. I mean, back-to-back seasons of 44 homers and 130 plus RBIs there is absolutely insane. And career 900 OPS for him, a career 518 slugging. I mean, just look at these home run numbers. 30 home runs like every year for like almost a decade there, from 2007 until whenever he stopped hitting 30 home runs a season. But I mean, only 2003, 2006, those are the only 2 years that he didn't have over 30 home runs, basically, in his entire career. 67.1 WAR for his career. In the last few years, he hasn't really gotten a lot of WAR, merely because he hasn't been playing on the field very much. But, I mean, look at these WAR numbers. This is a guy that was averaging over 5 WAR a season, basically, and when he was really good, averaging like over 6 WAR, 7.9 in 2011 there. But yeah, for sure, first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the better hitters of all time, just plain and simple, one of the better players. And he was in the majors for 20 whole seasons, so he's been around for a long time, and he is going to be starting today in a game where, New York, they already know their playoff destiny. They are going to be the number 1 or the number 2 seed in the American League this year, and winners of their division for the second straight season. So they're facing off against Oklahoma City, who is currently a game above 500 right now. And, this season for them has been a relative disappointment. Joe Musgrove has not been very good, and he hasn't really been that great since this team acquired him. They traded for him, or actually they might have got him in the offseason, but Yelich and Ramirez go back-to-back to begin the game for New York. So already 2-0 lead as Miguel Cabrera steps up to the plate. 7 home runs, 31 RBIs. He's played 86 games this season, and has a limited sample, but he's been okay. He was okay last year. He was a starter last year for this New York squad, and it'll be interesting to see one more good playoff run for him. A World Series title is really one of the few things that he does not have on his resume, as he's trying to stretch this into a double, and he is thrown out at second base. Does not really have the speed to be able to get to second on a ball like that anymore at this point, as, a 40-year-old guy, so he never was really very fast. Another home run here. Brandon Howe launches one for Oklahoma City as they get on the scoreboard. And yeah, Joe Musgrove pitched with Boston in the first year of this franchise, and 4.4 ERA, just not very good numbers for him, and has not been what Oklahoma City has really needed to turn their team around here, as Cabrera is up for the second time. And now Miguel Cabrera is going to blast this one into deep left field, and Miguel Cabrera, in his final game, launches a home run. It's his 8th of the season. That's number 530 for his career, as he gets to 1,900 career RBIs on the dot. So some actually really cool milestones here on this swing for Miguel Cabrera, besides it being maybe his last hit in the big leagues. It's 530 home runs now, 1,900 RBIs. That's some big milestones for him to cross, and 2 for 2 day for him so far here. Nothing happening with the offense since that home run. He's up in the 7th here, line drive, and that one is caught by the left fielder. 3 really good swings by Miguel Cabrera. Really solid contact here. 100th win for Aaron Nola. That's a pretty impressive feat there. Big milestone for him, and that fastball was somehow a strike on the corner. I mean, that definitely just missed the strike zone completely, but okay. We're in the top of the 9th inning here. Tanner Tully on the mound for OKC. That's a fly ball. Again hit well into center, but it is again tracked down and caught in the outfield. So that's going to be the last at bat there for Miguel Cabrera. And again, I wish that they had some animation where you could declare a guy retiring and a guy, you know, would have an animation for going out there for the final time, because as is, it's just a regular game and there's no kind of fanfare with it. That could be something that they could implement in the future that I would really like to see. But that is it for Miguel Cabrera in his career. And again, this team is going to be in the playoffs, so he might have a chance. We might see him as a pinch hitter or something, and, you know, an injury happens maybe in the postseason. There is still a scenario where Miguel Cabrera could get more at-bats in his career, but in terms of the regular season, that's it for him. This is his last regular season game. Going to be retiring after this year is over, and it was a good day for him. A 2 for 4 ball game with a home run and an RBI. So Yelich also with a home run. So did Ramirez, who already had 100 RBIs. He now has over 100 there with a 101. And Yelich with 77 RBIs total this season. He has been such a good leadoff hitter for this team. And Chris Paddock on the mound for New York. It wasn't as, this season for him, not as good as last year was, but still a pretty solid season as this team's number 3 pitcher. And a really good start in this game. 8 innings and only allows 1 run on 4 hits there with 5 strikeouts. Andrew Kittredge gets his 44th save of the year, and that's going to be an important trade to watch in the postseason. Is, you know, this New York bullpen, probably, you know, it was a weakness for them this season in the regular season. Brandon Lau and Marte, they're getting home runs. Lau is going to finish with 98 RBIs on the year, and Oklahoma City is going to finish 500 this season, 81 and 81. Again, Musgrove was not great this year, 3 runs in 6 innings. Tully was not very good either. I mean, their pitching was really their downfall. They were one of the, you know, not a very solid pitching team this year. One of the worst teams in that department, you know, this season in the American League at least. So that was really their big thing. Their offense was very good, but their pitching just was not good enough to supplement it. And Joey Votto here is another guy we're going to look at. I know Joey Votto, you know, he kind of played a little bit in 2024, I believe. But in this game, you know, final year of his contract, I don't really see a scenario where I'm going to have a team sign him again. And so I think, all things considered, unless something really crazy happens and there's a real big need, Joey Votto, this will be the last game for him in this franchise. And this season has been okay for him, a 243 average, but a below 700 OPS. His power this year has not been very good. Only 35 extra base hits there in over 500 at-bats. But, you know, again, Joey Votto, another guy, you know, last year, too, wasn't very good for him either. A guy that is clearly on the decline. But another guy that is a Hall of Fame caliber player, over 2,200 hits there for him, and a 294 career batting average, and over 400 career on base. That is awesome for him. 910 OPS and over 500 slugging. So he slugged really well too. Had 36 home runs in 2019 and 2017. Had almost 30 in back-to-back years there in 2016 and 2015. And again, all these averages were, you know, over 300 almost every single time. The averages were awesome for him. The on-base was incredible. I mean, 94 walks in 2012, 110 walks in 2011. That's insane. And yeah, over 1,400 walks for him in his career, which is just pretty mind-blowing to see that. 37 homers in 2010. That's probably his best season of his career, although there's some really good ones up there. And 76 WAR for him as well. So yeah, definitely a guy that, you know, I would consider as a Hall of Fame player, has a Hall of Fame resume. And, wow, 2017, man, that was such a good season for him. 9.5 WAR, that's ridiculous. 8.2 in 2015, 7.3 in 2011, 8.4 in 2010 there. So, yeah, he's had some awesome seasons, man. He's just been a very consistent guy and one of the best on-base players that we've seen in a very long time in this game. So, he will be playing his final game here. Andy Pages, by the way, really good power versus lefty and contact versus righty increases there for him. His rookie season has gone pretty well overall. But the Expos season hasn't really gone that great for them. They were 69 and 92. This is a worse team than it was even last year. And last year they weren't that terrible, but they weren't great either, below 500 team. This season is a clear rebuilding year. And this is a clearly rebuilding team now at this point. Trevor Rogers on the mound for Boston, trying to get their 90th win of the year as they have wrapped up that wild card spot. And, I mean, who knows? They actually, I don't think that they have home field for the wild card game exactly 100% locked up, because it depends on what is happening with Seattle. I mean, they have the same amount of wins right now. I believe they both have 89. Entering this last game. So this is an important game for Boston, trying to get home field in the wildcard game here. Joey Votto up for his first at-bat here. He's going to fly it really shallow there into center field. Nearly dropped in for a hit, but it does not fall in there. So there is something on the line here for Boston. Rogers really good so far. First 3 innings have been awesome for him. 17-year career with Joey Votto, with only 2 teams. I mean, in Montreal, it kind of doesn't really count because he obviously had to switch teams when we created this team. So he's, you know, obviously the Reds, this is, you know, that's where he is. That's where he's going to, you know, his number is going to be retired, I'm sure, and where he's going to be, you know, all those accolades are going to come to him. He's a longtime Red, a lifetime Cincinnati Red, as he swings and misses here at a slider. That was a good pitch. Sorry for the voice crack there, but really good pitch by Rogers. A speed pitch there outside of the zone for the big-time strikeout there. One more look at this pitch sequence, and there's the slider there going way outside of the strike zone. Noah Kelly pitching for Montreal here. He gives up a run in the bottom of the 4th. 3-run home run by Wilmer Defoe for Montreal, and they are going to have a 3-1 lead. 0-for-2 so far for Joey Votto. Lucas Giolito tied for the NL League and wins with 17. That's insane there. Fly ball into right, and they're into left, and that is caught. And you know what? Okidi might be, or not Okidi, but Giolito might be tied with one of his other teammates on that team. That's how good that pitching staff is. It's ridiculous. As we go for a row, and a runner thrown out at home plate. Wow, okay, there's a home run by Arias. A home run immediately responded with by Lourdes Gurriel, and it's a 4-2 game. And this is probably it for Votto here. His last at bat of the game, and will end up being his last at bat of his major league career here. So let's see what happens here. John Benner on the mound for Boston, as that's a fly ball. It's into the gap here, and there's not going to be anybody to catch this one. It bounces off high off the wall, and Joey Votto has got an easy stand-up double. 21st on the year, and that is a big-time swing for Votto in the last swing that he will have here in this franchise, as he will end his career on a extra base hit. Good job for him there. And, I mean, you would consider pinch running for him. Again, if there was an animation that came with me pinch running for him, that's probably what I would do in this spot. But we're going to have him on the base pass here. That's a fly ball into left. And it is caught. Hit pretty well, but no problem there for the outfielders, as here's Nicky Lopez. And, you know, Nicky Lopez, not very good season numbers. Only has a couple of hits in this series so far in 10 at-bats. And he is going to ground it over to second base. And that is a throw over to first. and it is in time for the out. So here we go. Boston is 3 outs away from getting their 90th win of the year, and I don't know if that would exactly clinch a home field advantage for them if, if Seattle or, because both Seattle and Los Angeles could finish with 90 wins. So I don't know. Actually, no, not both of them can't. Never mind. But I don't know if that seals home field advantage for them. I guess it does because the team that wins the AL West will have 90 wins, and the team that doesn't will have 89. And Boston just got their 90th, so that does actually clinch a home field advantage for them in that wildcard game. So big win for the Boston Barons there. Doing some quick math in my head about these scenarios here on this final day of the season. So that's an important development there. Montreal, this team's offense, there's a couple of guys that stand out. I mean, Kirilloff had a good year. Gurriel had a good year this season, and Pages does look like a beast. And George Springer actually had a pretty decent season. Not the average for him wasn't very high, but overall, his power was good. He was a lot better than last year for sure. But this offense definitely has a long way to go. And, you just have some young players that just need to develop. Matt McLain is one of them. He did not do very well in his Major League time this season at all. And, the pitching is right now not amazing. I mean, they have Zach Wheeler at the top of this rotation, and he is legit one of the better pitchers in baseball. But the bullpen right now isn't that amazing. It's there, it's a weakness. And outside, Merrill Kelly had a good season, but outside of Zach Wheeler right now, this team's pitching is pretty thin. And you see the final score, the final ERAs for all those pitchers there. Boston, excited to see this team in the playoffs. This is, won the division last year, had their season ended early in the postseason there by the eventual World Series champions in the Houston Reapers, and they're a wildcard team now this season, and their offense is really, really good. One of the better ones in the American League with Kirk and Arias and Trevor Story having an awesome year. Kyle Tucker there in the middle of it. And this pitching staff is really strong, too. Taylor Rogers, 3.5 ERA on the season for him. 6 good innings in this one. Does get the loss, though. Figueroa, 0.2 innings. Bender, 1.1. And Steinrecker, an inning. And Steinrecker has been awesome this year. They have Anthony. They have the best closer in the business, in John Bender. I think that's his name. And so they have a good, pretty solid bullpen. And they're going to be a dangerous team here, whoever faces them in the wildcard. We still don't know that yet. And those are the games that we have to really keep in mind. This Las Vegas-Colorado game, we don't really care about that one because Colorado is out of a division race. They're in the NL West. They cannot win that division. But Los Angeles, Seattle, Nashville, Richmond, Charlotte, Columbus, and then you got, you got San Diego and Salt Lake. Those are the games that we are really paying attention to here on this last day of the season. So what we're going to do is a little bit different from my normal episodes. We're going to be going through these games, mostly quick managing them. I am actually pitching here in this game. I'm doing a little bit of a player lock pitch situation, basically, with Hunter Green. And the main reason for that is because Hunter Green is probably going to win the Cy Young this year. I mean, he is at the top of that. He has just been unbelievable this season. +8. I mean, look at these increases. +8 to hit per 9, +5 to walk per 9, +7 to home run per 9. Some of the biggest increases I've ever seen for a starting pitcher. And it makes sense because this guy is a legit superstar. This guy's a legit ace caliber pitcher. 15-5 record, 197 innings pitched this year. That is among the top in the league, and 138 hits allowed this season, only 56 runs allowed, has only allowed 15 home runs, and the crazy thing is he allowed 13 in 65 innings in 2022, but this year has only allowed 2 more than that in, way, way more innings, over 100 innings more, and the whip at 1.11, and the strikeouts there, 80 walks, 201 strikeouts. That is one of the best strikeout numbers. He's one of the strikeout leaders in the American League. 23 quality starts and a complete game shutout this year. 4.3 WAR. That's among the best in the National League this season. The K rate, 9.18. So yeah, he is leading this voting right now, and sometimes this voting here for the Cy Young doesn't really matter because you have guys like Aaron Nola and Jacob deGrom who are legit Cy Young candidates, but really the only other guy that I think you could argue for this award is Jose Urquidy, who is the ERA leader in the American League or in the National League, and I think in all baseball nobody has a lower ERA than him. Right now, 196 innings for him, 52 runs, only 17 homers, and 31 walks. So 39 walks. So he has the advantage in him over with the WHIP there. Has a lot of less total base runners, but the strikeouts is really where these two guys are separated. Only 128 for Urquidy and only a K rate of 5.87 there. And the WAR is significantly less, mainly because of that. So, yes, Jose Urquidy has green on the WHIP and the ERA numbers, but Hunter Green has Jose Urquidy beat by a long shot and a very wide margin, like not insignificant at all on the strikeout margin there. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just like, okay, can Jose Urquidy ever really win a Cy Young because he doesn't get strikeouts and he's not a strikeout pitcher, even though he has insane numbers? You can argue that that's kind of unfair to him, but I do think that Hunter Green probably has the better overall case for winning this award. And so what we're going to do here is, you just saw the opening of that Charlotte game there, and you also see the opening here of this Rhinos game. So what we're going to do is we're going to have these two games going on basically at the same time, and Jose Urquidy is pitching for Richmond. So these are the two Cy Young candidates right here playing in the same day on the most important day of the season, the last day of the year, with everything at stake for both of these teams, as Columbus playing Charlotte here. So the Cardinals, the situation for them and the scenario, the math for them is very simple. They win this game, they win the National League East. And for, the Stars and the Rhinos, it's maybe a bit more complicated. For the Rhinos, it's not very complicated. The Rhinos have to win their game against Nashville to have any shot at getting into the playoffs again. So they are in a must-win situation and a must-win scenario, as you see the lineup there for the Pilots. And Nashville, if they win that game, they will have clinched at least a wildcard spot, and they will probably end up, if they win and Columbus loses, then probably Game 163 is going to have to happen between those two teams to determine who is going to win this division, and the loser of that game might actually just miss out on the playoffs entirely. They might not even be able to be a wildcard team. So there's a lot of situations here that we have to keep in mind, and the National League West comes into play because those teams both have 83 wins. Oh my goodness, Nestor Cortez Jr. By the way, he's been so bad this year. 6.16 ERA. That's ridiculously high. I don't know how he's been that awful. But that kind of comes into play because if the Sharks and the Bees, they both could finish, or one of them could finish with 84 wins. And so I don't really know how a tiebreaker would work in that situation. But yeah, for Columbus, the only thing that you're really worried on right now is winning this game here. That's the most important thing. And for Hunter Green is solidifying this Cy Young case that he has put together this season. And it's, it's kind of uncommon, I think, for a really young pitcher like this, not even a full year Major League experience, to have the kind of season that Hunter Green has had. It's not really something that I've seen a lot in this game for a guy that is lower rated to have such a good year. So I'm really excited about Hunter Green, and I think it's awesome that he has been so good this season. And part of his repertoire is a near 100-mile-an-hour fastball. He's got the insane velocity to his stuff and his slider, high 80s. In terms of that velocity there, that's 100 miles an hour. He's going to touch triple digits quite often in this game, and he gets a second strikeout here, second one in a row in this top of the second inning. So, man, and Frazier goes down on strikes. And, Columbus, they dropped the ball and lost the opener of this series, but then they won in a walk-off fashion yesterday. That was a monster game for them. They needed to win that one, really. KJ Harrison is up here, and he's not been very good this season. 226 batting average for him. That's a fly ball. Gary Mitchell on the move, and he makes the catch. Gary Mitchell's got some good speed out there in left field, and he ran that one down in order to make the play. So, done with the top of the second inning. And a 1-0 game. Back to Nestor Cortez here in the quick sim. 1.53 whip for him. There's a double by Corbin Carroll and a run. 2-0 now. Shailene Galliers at the plate here. Had that home run last game for them. And now he comes through again with another single. That's his 31st RBI of the year. And now Matt Duffy gets a hit. His 57th rookie of the year. Now Trey Turner is at the plate in a 4-0 game. And, yeah, I mean, Nestor Cortez Jr. was good last year. 3.69 ERA for him. He's given up over 110 runs in his time this season. He gives up another here. Trey Turner with a double, and Cole Winn has got to come on right away here in only the second inning. So Columbus's offense is not taking this game up to chance. They absolutely pop off on Cortez, and they're already at 5-0 here. So while that has been happening, this Nashville-Richmond game is a pitcher's duel right now. No score, and the top of the third. But now, a couple of hits here have set up first and third, a two-man out, and now J.D. Davis comes through in the clutch with a huge base hit. So that puts Nashville up on top. They're up 1-0 here. Again, must-win game for the Richmond Rhinos here. And there now is Kyle Schwarber's at the plate here, as that's a swing and a miss there. Schwarber, they're showing the home run graphic, as here's the 1-1 pitch. That's what Schwarber wants to do right now, as that fastball somehow misses. Okay, that was a strike that kind of out of the zone there, the bottom part of it. And now that's a fly ball, and Naylor's not going to get to that one. Excuse the random dive that I just did right there, but that's going to be an RBI double for Kyle Schwarber. And, I mean, Naylor wasn't getting to that ball, no matter if he dove for it or not there. As that is going to end up being a ground rule double for Kyle Schwarber. What a huge hit there, and it's 2-0 now. That's a hard hit ground ball to Diaz at third base. Will get the out, but the Nashville Stars here come up with a couple of runs in the top of the third inning. Huge frame for them, and they're up 2-0 now. So we're going to switch back and forth between these two games as they are going on at the same time here. As that's a swing and a miss. Curveball to Trey Sweeney for a third strikeout for Hunter Green, who has looked really, really good so far. This is, you know, he's basically gone through the batting order once, and he has looked unreal so far. He's looked very, very good, and he's about to go up, 9 up, 9 down here in the first 3 innings. Clay Dugan comes on up, and he's been really poor in his time with Charlotte this season, as that is a changeup. I mean, a high changeup, maybe not the best location there, but Dugan just watches it. And now it's an 0-2, and that's a swing and a miss. Changeup for strike 3. Great pitch by Hunter Green, and that's his 4th K tonight. And a 1-2-3 third inning as well. So can't really start a game much better than that in the first 3 innings. So move on to the top of the 4th. Brandon Marsh at the plate here. That's a ground ball, stopped and easily thrown over. Oh, wow, thrown way away. I mean, an easy play it should have been right there for third baseman on this team. And it's going to be an error on him. Third baseman on this team, blanking on the name here. Oh my goodness, that is really bad. That was a really bad throw. And it's really bad that I can't remember the name of the third baseman on this team right now. That is a strikeout. Gleyber Torres. Sorry, I don't brain fart there. Gleyber Torres throws it away. That was a beautiful fastball there. Triple digits from Hunter Green here. Only 50 pitches right now, so he's on a good pace. As that's a fly ball, and Rosarena has it well tracked there, and it's caught, and no tag from second base there. Marsh on the base pass. He's got some speed, 84 speed, but he's not going on that. And here's Derek Davis. 5 for 10 in this series. He had a home run, a big home run, 4 RBIs in this series. So he's been good recently for the Pilots here. That's a ground ball. Stopped by Green in front of the plate, and he goes to first in time to get the out. So Hunter Green works around the error there, and the runner on base, the first base runner Charlotte's had so far in this game. And we go back to this game here between Nashville and Richmond. Tell me if you guys like this style here, because I want to build up some suspense here in these games as we kind of get deeper into them. I don't want, you know, what happens to be revealed too early to you guys. I don't want there to not be any stakes here as these games get into the later innings. So, I thought this was the best way to do it here in the final day of the season, as that's a stop by Duffy, and reaching to first base is the hitter. And that is the first hit of the game for the Charlotte Pilots. So 4.1 and no hit innings for Hunter Green, and that pitch, okay, what somehow misses there. That was definitely a strike at the top of the zone. But now the count was 1-1 to Trey Sweeney, who struck out his first time up. That's a fly ball. And again, a pretty easy play here for Randy Rosarena in right. So really not a lot of solid hard contact in this game at all for the Charlotte Pilots here. 3-2 is just a slow rolling ground ball to Trey Turner, an easy play, and that's the end of the top of the 5th inning. So Cardinals are in really good shape right now. They are halfway through this game, and they have a 5-0 lead. As this game is going by quicker here than the other one. It's kind of sailing by as we have a pitcher's duel really happening right now, as we're through 5 innings here in this game, and we have still a 2-0 score. You know, Katie has settled into this start after a rough 3rd inning there. Marco Gonzalez has been unreal in this game. 3 hits is all he's allowed so far. And that is another 0 that he just put up right there. So, 2-0. Marco Gonzalez is putting together one of his better starts of the season right now for Nashville. And, man, the Rhinos are in a little bit of trouble there in that game. Charlotte is in a little bit of trouble here in this one. I mean, they're not in the playoff picture, of course. They're going to be the worst team record-wise in baseball, just in general. Clay Dugan's going to swing and miss. High fastball, nasty, at the top of the zone for Hunter Green. 5th strikeout of the day for him. But, you know, it always kind of feels nice with Charlotte if you can be the spoiler here to a team's playoff chances. That does make you feel a little bit better at the end of the season, especially if, you know, you've had kind of a rough year and you're not really a part of the playoff conversation at all. Feels good to knock off a divisional opponent here and have them not go to the postseason. But again, the offense has to wake up here right now for the Pilots. They have just done nothing here offensively. 1 hit against Hunter Green here in 6 innings. There's a line drive, and it's caught by Matt Duffy at shortstop. I mean, a ball hit really hard. Maybe the hardest hit ball of the day for the Pilots here, but it's right to somebody. And we go middle to 6th in that game. Still 5-0. We're in the top of the 7th now in this game. Michael Harris at the plate, and Michael Harris launching a home run. Only like his 13th or 14th of the year. But a big-time bomb, and another huge run for Nashville here. Up 7-0, or up 3-0 now in the bottom of the 7th inning. So top of the 7th inning here in this one. Hunter Green still at only 87 pitches. I mean, he is cruising right now. Luis Robert is at the plate, and that's a ground ball up the middle and past the diving attempt of Matt Duffy. I mean, even if he stops that, you know, that's a biggest hit, obviously, for Luis Robert there. And nothing like their best hitter here to try and stabilize and get the offense in this game. 2nd hit of the day, Derek Davis at the plate here, 0 for 2. In this game, like so many others, strikeout at a ground out in this one. But, I mean, an opportunity here, crack in the armor, maybe for Hunter Green. And there's a line drive. Rosarena has got it on the run. And those are a couple of hard hits there to begin this inning. So something to watch here. There's the first out in the 7th. And can Hunter Green finish up the 7th inning? Again, this would be, you know, a Cy Young statement type of start here if he can do this. Adam Frazier at the plate, and that's a fly ball. That's shallow into right center field, and it's going to land in for a hit. Mitchell's got it here, and around third and coming home is Robert. Close play at the plate, and they throw him out. Wow, nice relay by the Columbus Cardinals there. And, I mean, he's got 88 speed, why not? So, you know, 5-0 game. At this point, your offense has done nothing so far. Why not send them? And, man, great throw. Great tag by Langoliers there. Just getting it ahead of the tag. Or ahead of Robert there to the plate. And a huge second out. So now KJ Harrison at the plate. And he's going to line this one deep to left field. Mitchell is going to play it off the wall. I thought he could maybe catch that one. But it's going to be an extra base hit for KJ Harrison. Only his 19th double of the year, but that's the first, you know, the third hit of the game for the Pilots and the first run of the day allowed by Hunter Green. So Hunter Green here, 99 pitches. Here's pitch 100 for him, and it's a fastball there just inside. Swinging only 211 with average and runners with, you know, with runners in scoring position this year. As Hunter Green now over 100 pitches. Here's the 2-1. That's a fly ball, and it's deep, and it's in no man's land. Nobody's getting to that one. It's going to fall in and bounce over the wall for a double. So back-to-back doubles here with 2 outs in the 5th inning. And now the Pilots have something going here. 5-2 score. You really don't want this game to get any closer. You don't want it. I mean, it's starting to get a little uncomfortable here in this 7th inning. Abraham Gutierrez now lines that one into the gap. And that's going to easily score the runner. Trey Sweeney comes in from second base. And another double. 3 in a row for the Pilots. Abraham Gutierrez, only his 6th of the year. Not even a full-time starter this year for Charlotte. But now you got to take him out. Yeah, they're going to take out Hunter Green. Man, I wanted him to get through the 7th inning so badly in this start, but just cannot get that last out here in the 7th. And now it's a 2-run game. So this is a huge spot here for Lucas Lucky, who has been one of the better relievers in baseball this season. 40 innings, a 2.03 ERA, 253 average against righties, 224 against lefties. He's been insane this year, but he's not been untouchable. We've seen him give up some runs in some of his appearances this year for Columbus here. With Clayton Dugan at the plate, he's 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. A below 200 batting average for him in his Major League time. Not sure how many at-bats that he's had, but this is a big spot for him, and it would kind of wipe away a lot of the struggles that we've seen him have this season. 139 average with runners in scoring position. That is really low. But again, 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss in the dirt. Throw to first is in time. Huge out by Lucas Lucky. Monster strikeout right there. And the Columbus Cardinals still hold on to a 5-3 lead. Big inning there for Charlotte, though. They're right back in that game. Bottom of the 7th, Marco Gonzalez. Can he get through another inning here? He's only at 74 pitches right now. Wow, he has been super efficient in this game. And now we've got a base runner here. Jose Moreta, just a little tiny chopper out in front of the mound, or out in front of the plate, and Manny Pena makes the play. 2 down now in the inning. And how long is Marco Gonzalez going to go in this game? He might go the distance today. Adam Duvall, 198 average for him, but a lot of home runs. He's got a lot of power there, and I mean, big home run would be much needed right now for the Rhinos trying to get back in this game, as that was a perfect pitch release right there at a perfect pitch on the inside corner, and that's a strikeout. Swing and a miss at a changeup there off speed for Gonzalez. Don't know how many strikeouts he has so far, but that was a monster pitch, and that's the end of the 7th inning there for Richmond, who is running out of outs in their season right now. So we're in the top of the 8th inning here. This game has been going by a lot faster than the Charlotte game has, even though we're, in the same inning. There's a single there by Polanco. So Nashville is going to add on to this lead again here. They're up 4-0 now. Bottom of the 7th inning in Columbus here. Single for Yuli Gurriel. There's a double by Garrett Mitchell. And now Corbin Keller's got an RBI opportunity. Now the bases are loaded up for Shea Langoliers. And Matthew Thompson pitching for Charlotte here, and that's a walk. Walks in a run. 3-6 game. Thompson, that was a bad walk right there. Bad time for it. Tyler Wells comes out of the bullpen, and he's been, not very great in 62 innings, a 4.88 ERA this season. But he's got bases loaded here. Columbus could blow the game wide open right here. Brooke Schnell at the plate. It's a fly ball deep into center field, in the gap, but Robert has the speed to get to it. And, that out keeps the Pilots in this one. If that would have landed, Columbus would have been able to score at least 2, maybe 3 runs in that situation. So, big time out right there. But a 6-3 lead now for Columbus. Ground ball here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Marco Gonzalez just is cruising. 79 pitches right now. He gets the first out of the 8th inning, and here's Abraham Toro. So, 258 average, 758 OPS, 18 bombs. He came through in a clutch. Earlier in this series between these two teams, he had a huge double in the last episode, as that's a line drive, and it's caught by Goldschmidt. So, yeah, that's a huge liner right there, and it's caught. Big time out, 2 down in the inning, and Jorge Soler is at the plate. 0 for 3 on the day. That's a fly ball into center field, into the gap. Kepler racing over. He's there to make the catch. Another 0 for Marco Gonzalez. 8 scoreless, 3-hit innings. How about this right now for him? He has been unbelievable as we go to the top of the 8th. Lucky's already got the first out of the 8th inning here with Brandon Marsh at the plate. And that's a swing and a miss, okay. Good pitch on the cutter there on the corner. Lucky now, what does he come with to Marsh here in this at-bat? It's a ground ball, and Turner's got it up there. Has to hurry a little bit. Marsh got some speed, but they get the out. So Lucky here with his 8th pitch of the appearance, and that's a fly ball. That's deep into the outfield. It's going to go foul, though. Down the left field line, or down the right field line, excuse me, I should say. 5.4 feet off of being a home run there for Luis Robert, and that's a fly ball now. It's into foul territory, but there's quite a bit of it here in this ballpark, and Randy Rosarena's got it. Makes the catch. That ends the inning, and it's a 6-3 game. 3 more outs is all Charlotte needs, or Columbus needs now, and 3 more outs is all Richmond needs at this point to win here. That's a fly ball. There's out number 1. Kyle Lewis has got it there in center. Is that Kyle Lewis? I actually don't. I don't know. It's somebody with the last name of Lewis. And 1 down in the frame. Josh Naylor at the plate. There's a line drive. Caught again by Goldschmidt, who's been coming through in the clutch here with a couple of huge catches there down the first base line. So now there's 2 outs. And Marco Gonzalez, man, only 88 pitches. This is insane. But a big spot. Richmond down to their last out of this season here right now. And they need something. Can Diaz continue this game? It's a ground ball. And Gonzalez stops it. How fitting it is that he gets the last out of this game. Complete game shutout for Marco Gonzalez on the last day of the season. And the Nashville Stars clinch at least a playoff spot. Now they need to find out what happens in Columbus for them to know for sure whether or not they're going to play for a division title or not. But that win is huge, I think. I think at least they have at least clinched a wild card spot right now to at least clinch the playoffs. Could be wrong, because if they play game 163 and they lose, they might be at risk of missing the playoffs. We'll just have to see. It depends on what happens in the National League West games right now also. But with the Richmond Rhinos, they are done. They have no chance of making the playoffs. Their season ends. And, really good season for them. Honestly, very successful. They were the worst team in baseball last year. And so for them to turn it around this season and almost make the postseason, a really, really good step forward in the right direction for them. And Nashville, this offense, not nearly as dangerous as it was last year. Not only because, they didn't have Mike Trout for the majority of the season, but also just a lot of guys underperforming this year. But Marco Gonzalez, what a time for the best start of the season for him. I mean, seriously, that might be it right there. 9 innings, 3 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, and a complete game shutout on the last day of the season. That is incredible there. Really impressive. And the Richmond Rhinos, the reason that they could not pull through here was, I mean, the big reason that they couldn't do anything in this game. They only had 3 hits, and their offense did not show up today. And, you know, this offense was just not very good this season. It was one of the worst in baseball. It was one of the worst in the National League. So, you know, they got to have some offensive improvements, and that's going to be their main focus in the offseason is how do they improve this batting order going into year 3. Because their pitching is incredible right now. Jose Urquidy had an amazing season. Their bullpen is really, really good. So their pitching is insane. Their pitching is the best in baseball overall from top to bottom. So can they figure out how, you know, they figure out the offense going forward? And if they can do that, this is a dangerous team here, and a team that is going to threaten to win the division again next season, I'm sure. Here's Drew Pomeranz, and he's one save away from 50. How about 50 a save? How about getting it to clinch the division for you? That is a big moment, and that would be a huge moment here for Pomeranz. He's got 2 strikes on Derek Davis here in the 9th inning. That's a ground ball, and Pomeranz stops it. Really good play here. Can he get the out? He does. Really good play by Drew Pomeranz there to stop that ball that was going up the middle and get the out. So Adam Frazier comes up now, and Charlotte trying to play spoiler. They gotta come up with something here quick, as that's a fly ball. Garrett Mitchell has it in his tracks. He makes the catch. That's a lot of confidence there. First 2 outs down for Pomeranz in Columbus. 1 out away from their first division title and their first playoff appearance in their history here. A.J. Harrison at the plate. Had a big RBI double last time up. He's going to swing and miss. Down to the last strike. Here it comes. 2-2 from Pomeranz to Harrison. It's a fly ball into the outfielder. Rosarena has got it. Makes the catch. And that's the ball game. And the Columbus Cardinals win it. And they win the National League East. They have clinched the division for the first time in their history here, and they will be playing in the divisional round of the playoffs in just a few days. They wrap it up with their 85th win of the year and the 50th save of the year for Drew Pomeranz. So a 3-6 win, another win for Hunter Green this season. And, you know, yeah, that 7th inning was a little rough for him, but I think he did enough to solidify that Cy Young award today. And to Columbus, I mean, this offense this year, 4 for 5 was Matt Duffy today. They are one of the best on-base teams in baseball. They were top 5, they top 3 in average this year, top 3 in on-base this season. So they get on base like no other team is really in the majors. And their pitching was so much better than last year. Hunter Green obviously was a major part in that. 2.61 ERA is what he will finish with this year in his 16th win of the season. This bullpen was also very, very good. You got Lucas Lucky, Ryan Brazier, and Drew Pomeranz. Those 3 guys were unreal this season. But overall, the bullpen was really good for Columbus. And, you know, outside of those 3 guys, there was other guys that did pretty well for them. And, you know, Charlotte, obviously, rebuilding team here this year. Some of these young guys did not play very well. You know, Harrison didn't really have a good season this year. Trey Sweeney did not have a good year at all. They also had C.J. Abrams up in the beginning of the year. We called him down because he was struggling a lot this season too. So they have a lot of young talent on this team right now, but their young talent isn't really doing very well. Cole Winn was very good this season. Actually, he was a rookie. This year was up in the majors the whole year, and he'll finish with a 4.04 ERA. He actually had good numbers this season. So that is going to wrap up the National League East race right there. The Columbus Cardinals win the division. They win it for the first time in this franchise here in year 2. And Nashville, their fate is not really decided yet because it depends on what happens here. In these 2 games, the Sharks and the Bees playing each other right now. and they're tied up top of the National League West. And so if they both win, then they're going to have to play game 163, I think. But if only one of them win, then obviously they win the division here. So I don't know. I think actually because of that factor, because they have to play 163 if they both win, that means that they're going to have one more one team is going to have more losses, technically, than the Nashville Stars will, no matter what. So I actually think that, even if both these teams win, then I think Nashville's in the clear. I think that they have clinched a playoff spot. I'm like 99% sure about that. So, yeah, there's part of the playoff picture figured out, and basically this becomes a must-win game for both of these teams right now at this point here. And the Bees have swept for the first 2 games of this series. The Bees have had an awesome month overall. They had a 6 or 7 game winning streak, and they won their last 4 or 5 games right now in a row. So they've been just unreal in this last couple of weeks of the season here. And Jack Leiter has been also kind of unreal this season. He has a 3.13 ERA and is pretty clear favorite, the pretty clear runaway Rookie of the Year this season. I mean, yeah, sure, Nick Madrigal has been pretty good this year, but yeah, Jack Leiter is going to win that award. It's going to be pretty easy there because he has been one of the better pitchers in the baseball this season and one of the better pitchers in that really good pitching rotation for Salt Lake. And he has certainly been, the best rookie in the National League, one of the best rookies in baseball this season. Michael Kopech pitching for the Sharks in a must-win game here. These two teams have split the first 2 in this series here. And again, the pitching for San Diego is what their downfall has been. I mean, Michael Kopech has not been good. Besides Julio Urias, this team's pitching has been one of the weaker pitching staffs in baseball this season. So, what is going to happen here? We're going to quick manage right now. Chris Flexen pitching for the Spiders, who have had a good turnaround year. They're going to finish below 500 this year. But, this is a team that was one of the worst in baseball last season. This is a team that had almost 90 losses. And they're going to improve on that loss total. And we're going to end up winning 8 or 9 more games this season than they did last year. So, they're a team kind of on the up, and they're a team that could, will depend on what happens on this offseason, but they're a team that could make some noise, maybe. As that's another run, and Eduardo Sosa comes through here, and all of a sudden, 2 runs for San Francisco. Michael Kopech is not pitching well right now, as we see a lead for San Francisco immediately here, with Phoenix and Salt Lake playing. And we're in the bottom of the first. Aaron Savale has been unreal this season, 2.7 ERA. That's one of the best ERAs in baseball, but he gives up a 2-run homer here to the potential MVP in Ronald Acuna Jr. That is Ronald Acuna Jr.'s 42nd homer of the season this year, and that is a monster 2-0 lead for Salt Lake immediately right off the bat. Hunter Renfroe with a double. Round out. There's a big RBI. Robert Newstrom, the rookie that we called up that got an injury at one point this year, he comes through with a big hit there. 2-1 score. Now there's a single by Jorge Alfaro. Okay, Phoenix returns the favor. They get 2 runs of their own here in the top of the 2nd inning and tie the game back up. So bottom 2 here, still 2-0 game. Flexen with over 200 innings this season, a 3.54 ERA. He's been pretty good overall this year. As that's a scoreless bottom half. Top of the 3rd here, and there's a 1-2-3 inning for Michael Kopech there. And, this Sharks lineup has been very good. Swanson, Carlson, Mancini, those guys have been awesome. But the bottom of the order, in terms of depth, this batting order also is maybe a weakness of this team, too. But a couple of walks here in the top of the 4th inning. Nomar Mazar at the plate, and he's going to strike out. Okay, Mano Sosa is going to fly out of this. An opportunity missed by San Francisco there in the top of the 4th inning to score some more runs. But right now, San Diego's offense, there's a double play. That's huge. Right now, this offense hasn't really been able to get much going against Flexen right now. As we go back to this game, and again, you're going to have to tell me how you like this kind of back and forth style here. I'm liking, doing the narration right now between these 2 games in the style of what we're doing right now. But still 2-2 as we're in the top of the 3rd. There's a scoreless inning by Leiter. And Savoy has honestly been one of the best pitchers in baseball this year. That ERA is, you know, second or third, I think, in the National League this season. So he's been a kind of an underrated star in the majors this year as he's trying to work their ERA back to around 2.7. But he's also pitched 216 innings this year, too, which is a ton. As we're in the top of the fifth, there's a hit by O'Neill. Okay, Kirk Casale has been good this season, 251 average for him. He pops it up. There's a walk. Kopech is running out of energy here, and they're going to go to the bullpen right now for San Diego. It looks like they're bringing out Jordan Wiles, who has a 2.98 ERA, but there's a huge double by Adley Rutschman. That is a 4-0 lead now for San Francisco. Wow, big time double there, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for Chris Flexen. So those 2 runs are going to be charged to the starter for San Diego here. Now the bases are loaded on 3 straight singles. So Jordan Wiles has not done very well in this appearance, and there's a ground out. There's another run, 2 more. Wow, okay, San Diego is in big, big trouble right now. They're down 6-0, and that game was getting late. That game's already in the 6th inning now. So, yikes, that's a bad development there. And Salt Lake now, they are looking to jump all over that. There's their scoreboard watching, just like we are here at this point. Double play. Yikes, that's tough. Had an RBI chance there, and they can't come through with it there. But a single, 2-1, 2 out for Acuna. And as he comes through, he pops it up. So, big time 0 there. Still a 2-2 tie. But Salt Lake, their scoreboard watching, they just saw what happened in San Diego, and they're like, oh boy, if we can score here, we can take advantage of this. This is a huge opportunity. Base hit, there's a double. Runner thrown out at home again. Wow, okay. Second time it's happened here the last couple of innings, and they go to the bullpen here. And, I mean, this bullpen for Salt Lake, one of the worst in baseball. It's really bad. But Evan Marshall here, 39 innings of 4.85 ERA. Okay, we got to hop into this game right now. 2-2 tie, top of the 7th inning here. Evan Marshall on the mound for Salt Lake City. Yeah, I don't know how this team can go very far in the playoffs with, with their bullpen being as awful as it is this season, but we'll see. And Ronald Acuna Jr., you see it there, wins the Player of the Month. George Magical wins Rookie of the Month. And that's a ground ball. That one is through into center field for a hit. So, big time single there and a runner on base. And I actually don't know who. Okay, that was. Oh gosh, who had that single there? Can't tell you. I don't remember that. I don't remember who that actually is there. They just got that hit. But Jorge Alfaro now is going to immediately ground into a double play. Yikes. Okay, that's rough. Josh Hader, 56 saves. Wow. All right. This year, he is maybe going to win Reliever of the Year. Giovanni Gallegos is also a candidate for me and with that award there. But now we got a 60% chance for Salt Lake here. And 2 down in the 9th inning, or in the 7th inning here. Adam Hazley at the plate. And he's going to ground that one over to second base. And that's going to be the end of the 7th inning there. So, 7th inning stretch time here, and these Salt Lake fans are a little nervous, but they're maybe less nervous because they're looking at the score in that San Diego game, and they're thinking, man, the Sharks are probably not going to win that one. So, again, I mean, even if both of these teams lose, you're going to have a Game 163 scenario in that case, I would think here. As that's a fly ball on a Renfroe. Can't get it. That's going to be extra bases for Vidal Brujan. 4th double of this season so far for him, called up at the deadline. And that one just out of the reach of the outfielders there. So he's in scoring position. Here's the Dougal Herrera. And that's a fly ball, okay, into center field. Tyrone Taylor is who got the hit in the top of this inning. He gets the out here to bring 2 down in this frame. And not a great spot in this batting order. Zavoli, by the way, 84 pitches. So he's actually, his pitch count this game has been really good. He's been very efficient today. Lazaro Monteros has been really bad in his Major League time. Really struggling. That's a cut. I don't really know why I have him leading off. I should do that. I don't think he's going to even be a starter on this playoff roster for this team. If this team makes the playoffs, that is still in contention for sure. But there's a pop up there. Marcus Semien with the catch. And that'll end the 7th inning. So we're moving on to the 8th inning here, and I mean, do the Sharks have any shot here right now? As that's a home run by Dansby Swanson. Okay, the offense finally doing something for San Diego. They need a lot more than that, though, in this game. They don't get any more runs in that 6th inning. Oh, man, Jorge Alcala has been unreal this year. 1.81 ERA, that's insane. Chris Flexen, man, what a start from him here in the final game for San Francisco. 7 one-run innings. Man, oh, man, this is not looking good. Nomar Mazar comes through with a triple. That's tough. Hit by Mundo Sosa. Tyler O'Neill. Can he come through, my man? There's a fielder's choice. Okay. Kirkasele gets a sac fly. Has another run here. A 6-run game again. And that's a 1-2-3 inning, man. Chris Flexen. Talk about domination there. 8 one-run innings for him. And he might just be pitching San Diego to a exit here in their playoff chances. So, top of the 8th inning here. 2 down. Marcus Semien at the plate. Sam Bachman is pitching for Salt Lake City out of the bullpen here. And he's got the first 2 outs. A 1-1 count to Semien here. Fly ball into the outfield. Armenteros is there. He's got it. And that's the end of the top of the 8th inning. So, I mean, we're going to have a late game situation here. Whoever scores this run, man, or in the bottom of the 8th. And we got a, I mean, this is high stress, intensity, playoff-like baseball happening right now. Sean Newcomb, I mean, this is basically a playoff game for both of these teams at this point. Their playoffs have already started. Sean Newcomb, 3.38 ERA and only 10.2 innings this season. But he's got the heart of this batting order for Salt Lake City right now. Miguel Andujar up to begin it. And he's only has a 687 OPS this year. His power hasn't been very good this season. And a 2-2 to him here. That is a 4-seamer that misses. I mean, you definitely don't want to walk this guy to get to Ronald Acuna Jr. 42 homers, 108 RBIs. 3-2 count. And it's there on the corner. Beautiful pitch by Newcomb for the first strikeout there. That was just perfect location. And here's Acuna. 1.071 OPS. I mean, yeah, he is. I mean, I know that that Fernando Tatis Jr. has been unreal and is leading the league in home runs and RBIs this season, but Ronald Acuna Jr. is seriously probably going to be the MVP. I mean, he is leading the league in, in OPS and average and, I mean, slugging. Like, he's just leading the league in almost every other category in WAR, too. And he was having a lead at first base, and they pick him off. Wow, it looked like he was going to try and steal there, and he steals bases, too. And they pick him off. That's a crazy play there. What a huge job there by Sean Newcomb. He gets the most dangerous hitter off of the bases now, and now there's 2 down. So C.J. Cron has been also an essential part of this offense this year for Salt Lake City. That's a fly ball. And into center, Tyrone Taylor is there, and that is the end of the 8th inning. What a job by Sean Newcomb, who comes in and does not allow a run in the bottom of the 8th. So we're going to the 9th inning here. And could the stakes be any higher at this point here? 7-1, top of the 9th. Now we're in the bottom of the 9th. Are they going to let Chris Flexen try and pitch the whole game? They're not. Okay, Trevor Rosenthal is going to come in. And there's a walk, fly out, another strikeout, and a ground out, and that's the game. Didn't even hop into it. It wasn't even a close game here as the Spiders dominate in this final game of their season. And they might have just sent the Sharks packing with their division chances. The Sharks will lose, and they are now, it depends on what happens here, obviously. But now it's, they don't control their own destiny at this point here. With a Salt Lake City win, they will have won the division outright. So, yeah, this is a bad loss for San Diego. They are now at the mercy of whatever happens in the 9th inning and that, potentially beyond in that Salt Lake City game. And for San Francisco, this is a good season. Good season to build on. They have some stars on this team, I think. Adley Rutschman being one of them. Ozzie Albies, who didn't really have a great season this year, but he's a star to build around. Tyler O'Neill is a star to build around as well. So I think this team needs some more offense. Their offense is pretty average, not really that great. And their pitching is okay. Chris Flexen was unbelievable in this game. But San Francisco's bullpen is very, very good. One of the better ones in baseball, actually. And so if they can pull off some moves in the offseason here, I think this is going to be a good team going forward. They have the potential to turn themselves into a really good team. San Diego, top of the batting order is incredible there with Swanson, Carlson, Mancini. But outside of that, Ian Happ has been very, very good this year. But other than those guys, this offense was not really consistent this year, and that was a big problem for them. Their starting pitching was also a huge problem, and Kopech gets a 13th loss of the year, 4 runs in 4.1 innings. And their bullpen was very strong. Jorge Alcala and Aaron Bummer and Emmanuel Clase, like those guys are all incredible. But yeah, they are now at the mercy of whatever happens in this game. So Salt Lake City, these fans cheering up a storm right now because they just saw that final go, that game go final there. They know the final score of that one, and so they know that if they get a win here, and if they can win this bowl game here, they will have a second straight division title. And out of nowhere, really, this is a team, again, 9 games back in this division, I think, when this month started, or something like that. They were pretty much out of the playoff picture. I really did not see them making a run, especially after they traded away Teoscar Hernandez and Miles Michaelis. Remember, they traded away those 2 guys because I was like, oh, this team is maybe probably going to have to start rebuilding here. And they turned around, and since those trades happened, they've actually been an even better team somehow. So now it's a fly ball, and that is caught. And here we go. 1-2-3 inning in the top of the 9th. Great bullpen pitching right now by the Bees. And it's the 5, 6, 7 hitters for Salt Lake City. And they need 1 run to go to October once again. Taylor Rogers, 55 innings this year, 2.29 ERA. He's been the best reliever in this bullpen. He's been one of the best relievers in baseball this year. He's been so good. And he's facing the Beast here. Bond with the 9th inning. It doesn't get more clutch than this. Elias Diaz stopped by Brandon Lau. He makes the play, touches the bag, 1 down in the inning. So with 1 away, here is Luis Torrens, 2 for 10 with a homer, 3 RBIs in this series. He is 0 for 3 in this game today. First pitch to him is a sinker that was there for a strike. Good location by Rogers on the corner on the outside part of the plate. What does Rogers come at him here with on the 0-1? Here it is. It's a fly ball. It is deep into left center field. Newstrom is at the wall, and it is gone! Luis Torrens walks it off, and for the 2nd straight season, the Salt Lake City Bees have won the National League West. A division-clinching bomb from Luis Torrens. What a finish here in Salt Lake City. Their 84th win of the year. Look at that swing a couple more times from Luis Torrens. The biggest swing of the year for the Salt Lake City Bees. And they have come out of nowhere with an incredible last month of the year. An incredible late season push to win the division again for the 2nd year in a row. And they do with only 84 wins this time around, but man, what a team this team became in the last couple of months of this season. And they are hot. They're one of the hotter teams in baseball right now, and they're going to be hot entering the playoffs. And a hot team in the playoffs, even if they have some weaknesses, is a dangerous team in the playoffs. So, yeah, Salt Lake, they might look like the weakest team on paper right now, but they might be dangerous, man. Do not write this team off going into October. Man, Phoenix, they're a team that just missed the playoffs this year, really. But they fall on this one, and Salt Lake City, incredible, man. What a finish. And Aaron Savoli finishes with a 2.7 ERA this year. He was unbelievable this season for them. Sean Newcomb was good. Taylor Rogers gives up a run. It ends up with a 2.44 ERA. But man, Phoenix, they got some really good talent in their farm system. And they have some chances. You know, they have some money to spend. I think they need some spending on some pitching in the offseason. But this is a team that took a very good step in the right direction. They were way below 500 last year. They were above 500 this season. And they could really factor in as a playoff team going into next year if they make the right moves in the offseason. But for Salt Lake City, again, a team that traded away one of their better hitters in this batting order and traded away one of their star pitchers in this rotation, and they somehow have a division title again, and it's off the backs really off of Ronald Acuna Jr. and CJ Cron. Those two guys have been so good. Elias Diaz has been very good as well. Luis Torrens, the hero of this game, he had a good season also. But, I mean, the pitching is really the biggest story for Salt Lake City. Jack Leiter, Rookie of the Year, pretty much wrapped it up today. And, I mean, Jack Flaherty has been awesome this year as well. The pitching overall for this team was their strongest suit. And there's a look at this playoff picture. The Cardinals win the National League East. The Stars clinch the wild card race. They are the second wild card team there. They'll be facing off against the Millers in Minneapolis. The Monarchs, the best record in the National League this year with 97 wins. The Millers, 88, and they're 8-2 in their last 10. They had an unbelievable month of September as well. They lost like 5 times or something like that. And the National League East, the National League West, excuse me, it still goes through the Bees. As the Sharks, 83-79, they will miss the playoffs a brutal way to end their season, in a brutal way to miss the playoffs entirely. The Sluggers also somehow missed the postseason after being first in the wildcard race the entire year almost. They collapsed in the final month of the season. And now the only thing left to decide is this American League Central Division. The winner of this game is going to win the American League Central. The loser will be in the wild card against Boston. So that's the only thing we have left to decide. We'll decide that next episode. We'll also focus on AA playoffs as well. Those are your AAA playoffs. Those are getting underway right now. And so we will have that for you next episode. And then we'll go over stats. And then it's the playoffs, baby. So really keep in mind and keep subscribed to this channel so you never miss a video, never miss an upload. And I will see all you guys in the next one. Hope you have a great day, everybody. And I will see you in the next video. God bless.